It's been nearly 20 years since Manchester United last won the league. Is it time to admit that the glory days are not coming back?
Has it been 20 years?
It's not
Can't
20
be.
years.
It's not been 20 years. Not 20
No,
years.
they won some FA Cups and some stuff
No,
like
but
that.
the league.
It says they won the
Europa
league, really?
How long, Gab will know this, how long's Fergie been retired?
12
the
years.
league.
12 years. And he retired the year they won the league.
See it
Yeah,
now.
but that's a debt,
Well,
credit card
it's
debt.
questionable, like
That's
the
not,
credit card debt. It's got the interest on it.
But-
2013.
You know the funny thing about this is, and I dedicate this to Manchester United historians. While obviously they're the biggest club in England, best supported along with Liverpool, and they've won all these titles and whatever else. The odd thing about Manchester United is that their success has really only come in two eras, right? Obviously the Busby era and the Ferguson era. So you've had these two periods, 50s, 60s, and they were really bad in the 70s, right up until Fergie arrived. Prior to that, they won the odd thing, but they were never, they were never a sort of a dominant team. So while they've won, a comparable amount to Liverpool, their success has been really concentrated in two periods of time. And I think the last thing United fans want is another long fallow period like you had up until Busby or between Busby and Ferguson.
I remember.
It's on its way.
If they won the league in 2013, I remember probably about 2015, 16, 17, thereabouts, I started asking, could Manchester United go 30 years like Liverpool did between titles? And at the time, you just think, no, surely not. Surely not. It's too big a club. Commercial machine is just too strong. But more and more, it's
Looking that way.
it's looking that way. We have just about 12 years. So we have a little way to go yet, but you could quite easily see this going over 20. And then once you hit 20,
far off halfway.
it's not. Yeah, it really isn't.
All right. But before you guys get so negative, they did finish second a number of times, I think, since Ferguson, right?
Who cares?
So did Liverpool.
Who cares? So did
Yeah, so did
Liverpool.
Liverpool. That's not what we're asking. That's not what we're asking.
Second.
Gab,
I'm
that's
not
what
saying
they
they're
say.
going to finish 15th.
Okay, I'll stop sticking up for
15th
United.
for 20 years.
But when if it does get to 20 years, we'll just say it's 30 years on this show anyway.
That's right,
Like,
yeah,
that'll
that's
just
right.
somewhat.
Dan will. Dan will.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a little dig at someone saying something similar. Okay, Gab, you famously named Belgium a golden generation a few years before they hit their peak. What other national teams do you see starting their golden generations for 2026 and 2030? Ecuador, Morocco and Spain all have really good young players breaking through.
It's an interesting. I mean, Ecuador. Again, we got to be we have to put this within context. Ecuador, obviously, Kendry Páez and whatever else. So you get excited over that. Is this a golden generation? Yes. Are Ecuador going to become like Brazil or Spain? Probably not. Morocco certainly is an interesting one. Again, I don't see them necessarily going and winning World Cups like some of us predicted Belgium might do back in the day. Spain just obviously continue to absolutely churn it out. You just think of Lamine Yamal, you think of Hyson, the list kind of goes on and on. What I think is interesting though is I think there's also a lesson in the Belgian piece is that you do have a window of opportunity. And it's really difficult. I think a lot, also when you've got a lot of players who are roughly the same age, it becomes really, and who've grown up together, I almost feel like you have to win kind of during the first half of your window, because then what happens is you risk getting what you got with Belgium, where these players have been together for so long and many are still in the prime of their careers, but it's almost like the coach is reluctant to break up the gang, and they tend to stick with them because they are the golden generation, and new blood doesn't come.
The harsh truth about Manchester United's glory days. Look, I know this isn't what any of us want to hear on a Sunday morning with our coffee, but we need to have a proper conversation about where we actually stand as a football club. It's been 12 years since Fergie walked away with that final league title tucked under his arm in May 2013, and honestly, it feels like we're further away from glory than ever before. The lads in the media were discussing something that's been eating away at all of us. Are the glory days genuinely done? And you know what's mad about this whole thing? United's success has basically come in just 2 golden periods throughout our entire history. The Busby era in the 50s and 60s, then absolutely nothing until Sir Alex rocked up and changed everything. Between those 2 legends, we were proper ordinary for decades. Before we dive deeper into this rabbit hole of despair, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're building something special here for United fans who want honest chat about our club, not the usual sugar-coated nonsense you get elsewhere. We're in this together, through thick and thin. Here's the thing that's keeping me up at night. Liverpool went 30 years without winning the league, and at the time, everyone thought that was impossible for a club of their size. Sound familiar? We're already at 12 years and counting since our last Premier League triumph in 2012-13. And if you told me back in 2013 that we'd still be having this conversation in 2025, I'd have laughed you out of the room. The commercial machine is still massive. The fan base is still the most passionate in the world. But something fundamental has broken at this football club. We've finished second a few times since Fergie left. But so did Liverpool during their wilderness years. Second place is just first loser when you're Manchester United, isn't it? What's properly doing my head in is watching other clubs build something sustainable while we're stuck in this endless cycle of new managers, new players, new promises, same disappointing results. The Glazers are still there. The debt is still mounting. And every transfer window feels like we're throwing money at problems without actually fixing anything. The scary part is how easily this could stretch to 20 years, then 30. Once you hit that kind of drought, breaking it becomes even harder because the pressure builds, expectations shift, and suddenly you're not the dominant force you once were. Look at AC Milan, another giant that struggled to recapture their peak years. Maybe it's time we stop living in the past and accept that football has moved on. City have redefined what success looks like with their consistency. Arsenal are building something proper under Arteta, and even Liverpool bounced back stronger than ever under Klopp. Meanwhile, we're still talking about the United way like it's some magical formula that'll fix everything. The truth is, those glory days under Fergie were built on incredible management, smart recruitment, and a club structure that actually worked. Right now, we've got none of those things consistently in place. Until we sort out their ownership situation, get a proper football structure, and stop expecting miracles from every new manager, we might be having the same conversation in another 12 years. Do you lot agree with this, or are we being too hopeful thinking things will change anytime soon?